Welcome, race fans, to the Bristol Motor Speedway. This is Andrew Cardinale with Pit Stop TV. Tonight we've got a special broadcast here from iRacing.com. It's the Iron Thunder Racing League Old Schools Night Race at Bristol. This is a brand new league for both myself and Pit Stop TV. Got some familiar names, got some new names out in the field. Quickly want to welcome you and let guys get into the stream here as we get ready to get going from Bristol Motor Speedway. Bristol, always a very fast-paced racetrack, one of the favorites among NASCAR fans to go to, and one of the favorites among many iRacers as well. It's a lot of fun to go to. We'll see how this race goes tonight. Here's one of the new names on track right now. It looks like he's got the race sponsor on the hood, John Mustaine Jr. in the number 88. Be looking out for him. He's currently 14th on the qualifying board. These guys are getting into qualifying right now. Quickly, before we go over points, I want to give a thanks to a couple of sponsors here. One being the league itself, getting this worked out tonight to make it happen. It's the Iron Thunder Racing League. After that, it's going to be Old Schools Graphics and Designs for sponsoring this race tonight and being a league sponsor over at the ITRL. Now, as we get ready to get going here tonight, you'll notice this is a brand new overlay here for us at Pit Stop TV. There are a couple of things we're going to continuously be working on, but this is, at least for now, the new look over here at the channel. And we are live on YouTube tonight rather than Facebook. The league chose to go with YouTube. That's fine. We're going to work with it, see how we do. And as these guys get their qualifying laps in, Mustaine now drops to 15th. We'll see if anyone else is out on the track. Doesn't look like it. So we'll go ahead and go to the points for this league coming into tonight's race. You can see them on the left-hand side of the screen. Jeff Figlin, currently the points leader with 92 overall after 2 races. This is race number 3 of their season. Aaron Carpentier, and I will say I misspelled his name at first on the points. I was in a bit of a rush to get this done last minute, so I apologize for that. But he comes in second place. Then it's Dustin Majeski in third, Sawyer 4th, Chris Gale in 5th, 12 points back. From there, points start to get kind of spaced out, actually. The top is really, really close, just 3 points separating the top 3. It's very close up there, only 6 points back to 4th. Once you get back to 6th, Ray Rittenauer Jr., that's going to be 17 points back, tied with Matthew Welsbach, a familiar name to our streams. Paul Smith is 8th, Sam Green 9th, David Jadlicka in 10th. You can get a look at the rest of the standings there as we get ready to look at your qualifying times. Now, thankfully, with this new overlay, we can look at both the point standings and the unofficial results at the same time. So you can see the qualifying times on the right-hand side of your screen while we look at the points. So you can see how these guys are doing according, or I guess in comparison to where they are in the points. It'll give you an idea of who's fast and who's not tonight. Aiden Young coming in with a pretty decent qualifying time. And just as I get that up, we're going to go ahead and roll over to the race session. So we're going to go down your grid here tonight. Starting up in the front is going to be Eric Drapeau. He qualified first. Then it's going to be Zach Kreiser. Row number 2 will consist of Ryan Daniels and Dylan Hale, man. I'm all ahead of myself. Anyways, next page there's going to be Chad Keenan 5th, Aiden Young 6th. Then it's Patrick Langley in 7th and Kevin Hash in 8th. Rounding out your top 10 will be Dave Anderson in 9th and Kelvin Masur in 10th. In 11th, we have Jeff Figlin. 12th is Sam Green. 13th is Aaron Carpentier. 14th is Sawyer Ott. 15th, John Mustaine. 16th, Paul Smith. 17th going to Artie Peterson. 18th to Thunderdome, and Sawyer told me who Thunderdome was, and I completely forgot now. I might know based on the car number. And then rounding out your top 20, you have Chris Gale and Thomas Cristiano. And I'll let you look over the rest of your starting grid as we get ready to get going here from Bristol. So that is your starting grid here from Bristol Motor Speedway. And again, as we get ready to get going, this is a bit different for me. There's a lot of new names, so just bear with me here as I try to do my best to learn these names. And we're going to go on board here at the start of this race with the pace car, try to look back at the field as we get going. And I quickly want to go ahead and go over some of the race info and the weather as we come into tonight's race. You see the race info, Bristol, USA. Not much to see here just yet. Once we get further into the race, you'll see more there. But the weather is where it's going to make a difference, considering it's a rather cool race for, I guess, iRacing standards. But at the same time, here at Bristol for the night race, it's kind of warm, 75 degrees, both in the air and on the track. Little to no wind, 1 mile an hour, not going to make a difference. So really, it's all about the temperature. 75 degrees is actually decently warm for a Bristol night race. So we'll see how these guys do. It seems like they might be lacking some front grip. And I heard a couple of guys getting into the wall during qualifying, so I think that might be a sign of what's to come here for this race. We've got 200 laps on tap. It's going to be 3 stages of 50, 50, and 100, as you can see at the top of your screen. And as we get ready to get going again, it is Drabeau on the pole. See if I can find him here. He's the number 97 car. Sorry, Drapeau. And actually, we'll go ahead and go on board with the 97 here for the start. We'll get to his onboard camera here. Pace car lights are off. About to turn into the pits. Green flag waiting. Green flag is in the air. We're live here from Bristol Motor Speedway. And already Drapeau getting up to that high side. That's going to be the dominant line all night long. You'll see everybody try and flood up there, at least on the short run, to try and get some positions further back. Ryan Daniels through to second place. That's a name I haven't said in a while. And he is already making moves. Got by Zach Kreiser very quickly. That Dynaco machine looking pretty good here at the start of this event, but he's still got a long ways to go. And that's going to be Chad Keane battling him on the bottom side. Normally, we talk about Ryan Daniels and see a 9 car. It's Aiden Young, but no, that is going to be Chad Keane down there in the number 9 Famous Dave's Camaro. Zach Kreiser has now fallen to 4th place. He's one of the NMNTS regulars who we've seen a lot of here on the channel. There's Aiden Young just a little ways back. He is getting into this mess, but he still has a little ways to go. We'll try and focus on him here. He is in 5th, and a caution comes out in the back. And it sounded like a big one normally is here at Bristol. We'll try and find it for you. That's Ray Rittenauer in the 87. And here it is, one of the other Famous Dave's cars. It's number 30 of Dustin Majeski there. He got some damage, as well as Pondo Co. in the number 20. We'll rewind and get you a replay here. And it just looks like a big stack up ahead of them. It looks like it might have actually started with Pondo Co., so we'll go on board with him. See if we can't find out what happens. He was racing just behind the 24. Again, some new drivers. Not sure who that is yet, but we'll try and get another look at what happens here. It all happens ahead of him. It almost I think it happened with the number 1 car to start off, so we'll try and find him. The number 1 is going to be Artie Peterson, so we'll see what goes on there with the number 1 car. That probably won't be a very telling view. Oh, and actually, you saw it right there. I think it starts with, is that the 51? That is definitely the 51 getting destroyed down the front straightaway. So we'll go to him now. We'll try and get this replay one more time. Looks like Sam Green going to be at the core of this incident. This was right behind Zach Kreiser, actually. So it's going to be, that's the wrong vehicle. So Sam Green, there we go. Okay, we'll go back one more time. This was right behind the leaders, not too far back, the 51. Sam Green, watch him, center of your screen, orange front end, blue rear. I think he just gets tagged from the 7. He does, and it's on from there. Chain reaction stacks up a lot of the field, gets a lot of damage to some of these beautiful race cars. Unfortunately, they're going to have a long ways to go, but thankfully it is Bristol. They can battle back. Back up the front, it's going to be Drapeau. And Ryan Daniels actually has some damage now. I'm not sure how that one happened, but he has some left side damage. Very unfortunate for the number 13. We'll see how he copes with that. once more. I want to quickly thank a couple of the sponsors here tonight. Of course, starting off with the league itself, the Iron Thunder Racing League, brand new to Pit Stop TV. Glad to be covering them this week and possibly even next week at Talladega. That's in the talks. Also want to thank Old School's Graphics and Designs for sponsoring tonight's event, and from the looks of it, being a large partner of this league. And as we get ready to get back going green here, looks like we're coming to the 1 to green signal this time by. I'll let you guys view the sights and sounds of Bristol Motor Speedway under caution until we get back green. All right, pace car lights are off, getting ready to go. It's still Drapeau in the front. He has some right front damage. Wonder if that's where the contact came from with Ryan Daniels. Ryan Daniels with left rear damage, possibly some left side door damage as well. Getting ready to go back green. Pace car is in, and they're off. It's the 97 of Drapeau with a big jump. Daniels trying to hold the top side, trying to hold on to second place. It's going to be Keen on the bottom side looking for second. Almost gets his nose ahead of Daniels, and he might be going for the move. Caution in the back, the 98's ring. Oh, and the leader, Drapeau, in the wall. He gets it going, though. So we'll now look for the 98. That's where this is all going to get started. And it looks like Welsenbach. Oh, we've got a car over. It's the 17. And I'm trying. That was Dylan Hale in the 17. He's already escaped, gotten off the track. That started with the 98. That's Jeff Figlin, your points leader in the number 98. He comes in with a 2-point lead. Might not lead with it, though. You see a big stack up on the restart. The 44 didn't go anywhere. Then I think Figlin's going to get hit by the 44 and just goes right around. And it's a big one down the back. Straight away, that's where Hale goes up and over. That 44 car, we'll find out who that was. That was Dave Anderson. We'll go to his onboard. Looks like he might have missed a shift on that restart. So we'll go back and see what happens here. Back to the 44 car. Dave Anderson here. We'll get his driver info on the screen for you. You can see how he's currently doing. Granted, it's under caution. His fastest lap, though, currently is a 15.239. He was starting a little ways back to begin with, and it looks like he might have gone into the wrong gear at first because he just went nowhere, and then he's going to end up hitting the 98 of Figlin, and it just sent him right around. Really unfortunate big-time events here. 2 cautions already within the first 15 laps of stage number 1. Stage number 1, again, lasting 50 total laps. It is early yet, and of course, Bristol cautions do breed more cautions, and of course, these starts are shaky to begin with, so can't knock these drivers. They're just doing what they can. We'll get his info off the screen, though, for you. I think that was a decent idea of how we could get going, though, right at the start. We got a couple of decent laps in where guys were flocking to the top side. I think that's what we're going to see the rest of the race. Just based on past experience here with the Xfinity cars, everyone's going to want to flock to that top side. You're going to have to go down to the bottom, almost like Iowa, though, and throw massive sliders into the corners to make big passes. It's just what you got to do. But as we get ready to get rolling again, I'm going to let you view some of the sights and sounds while I work out a couple more things. This was a very last-minute broadcast, but do invite you to stick around. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you're watching live on YouTube. If you're watching later on Facebook or YouTube, still subscribe to the channel or like our page, facebook.com/pitstoptv/. So definitely invite you to check us out if you don't, or if you just aren't familiar with us. If you are familiar with us, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a continued supporter. I will be right back. And as we get ready to get back going here, it's still Drapeau with the lead. Restarting on the bottom side in that number 97 car. Watch Keen on this restart, though, restarting from third. He looked hungry for that second spot. We'll see what he can do here, trying to battle Ryan Daniels. Drapeau gets a great jump. Daniels similarly gets a pretty darn good jump right there. He's going to hang on to second easily. Now it's Kreiser going for third. Keen going to fight him off for now, though. Keen still hanging on to third, but by threads. Kreiser on the top side with the preferred line here at Bristol. There is no grip strip down at the bottom, so Kreiser has the better line. He's in the wall. The 39 Sirius XM machine slows down a bit. He's going to settle for fourth. Meanwhile, holding up Aiden Young, his teammate. And that's the 77 on the bottom side. Who is that? That is going to be Patrick Langley. He's digging on the bottom side. He's fighting with Young. Contact down the front. Straight away, they get sorted out by turn one, though. Now they're going to drag in the 03. The 03 is going to be Kevin Hash. He's in the battle. He's in the good wrench machine, working that top side. No damage yet, but caution out in the back. And it looks like it's going to involve Dylan Hale once more. So we'll see what happens here. He might have been well behind it, actually. He's got Dropbox on the machine, and he was behind it by quite a bit. And, of course, he was blinking out, so I'm not sure. There's the 92. That's the telling story. So Jonathan Grissup, he was involved. We'll get a view here at him. Watch the 92. Oh, it was contact ahead with the 51 and 58. Also involves right now. Oh, my gosh, the ride that the 92 just took. We're going to go to his on board. That is going to be insane to watch, I think. We'll also give you his stats so far in this race, and he's going to lose a couple of laps. Watch the ride he takes. Up in the air for days, it seems like, then slams back down, albeit with some iRacing lag there. What a rough incident there for Jonathan Grissup. Unfortunately, it looks like that will be his day over and done with. I'm not sure if these guys have a fast repair. You can see some of these guys coming in for pit stops. Good to see these guys trying to soldier on through some of the damage. Third caution of the race. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Bristol Motor Speedway. Getting back ready to go green once more. It's going to be lap 24 that they take the green flag on. Ryan Daniels still setting pretty in second place. Zachary Kreiser behind him. Those will be the two to watch in this restart, aside from Drapeau leading the race. Of course, he has the advantage restarting first, having that clear line into turn number one. Shouldn't have to worry about him. Then it's going to be the battle from Keene trying to take a spot away from Daniels. That would be for second place. We'll see how it goes here on this restart. Coming to lap number 24. Again, want to thank Iron Thunder Racing League for getting us on board here tonight, as a big bobble out of Ryan Daniels sets him back a little bit on the restart. Still hanging on to second for now. Also want to thank Old School's Graphics and Designs, as Keene going to throw it hard into turn number 3. He's looking for the lead even. Big moves out of that number 9. So Chad Keene making some big moves right there to not only take second place away from Ryan Daniels, but also try to go after the leader there of Drapeau. Couldn't make it happen, though. He sits back. Now Daniels falls to third. Langley into fourth. He got by Kreiser. Kreiser going to fall a little ways back. Here's a battle. Sawyer Ott and Aiden Young. Aiden Young going to be on the winning side. We'll go through the field a little bit before we get onto the caution. Chris Gale currently in 10th. Sean Dower, another one of the big guys. He's actually from Old Schools Motorsports. He is in the number 14. Sam Green right behind him. We've seen him in a couple of incidents. Hopefully his luck turns around. Behind him, Dustin Majeski. Saw him involved in something earlier as well. A little ways for the back, Pondo Coe in the number 20, just going through some of the field here. Then Paul Smith in the number 12. Matthew Welsenbach has fallen a ways back. He's battling with, it looks like, I'm not sure actually, but Matt Cherry is in the pit, so we'll see if we can find some other guys. Back to Sawyer Ott, he's in 8th. Patrick Langley now actually into 3rd place. That's a big move there for the number 77. He looks to be faster than Ryan Daniels, but this battle is not over just yet. Ryan Daniels trying to keep up and trying to put the pressure on that number 77. Caution out in the back. And Dave Matson involved. He's one of the Gen X racing guys. He's in the number 09. We'll see what he went through here under this one. Just gets into the wall, gets into the 5 car, goes for a spin into 1-0. Some big contact with the inside wall. Comes back up the track. Oh, and the 51 was involved. I just mentioned hopefully his luck was going around. Oh, and Rittenauer went around as well. I was just talking about how hopefully the 51's luck was going to turn around for the better. And then this incident here gives him some more damage. Rittenauer even went for a bit of a spin. He's known as Iron Eagle here in the league. We'll go on board with him. Just went around. Might have been down. Oh, and he got hit hard. Who was that? I'm not sure, but he got hit hard afterwards. We'll get one more replay here up on Rittenauer. He comes in a pretty decent points position, too. I'll put that up here in just a moment. He just goes around. Really unfortunate. I think gets hit by Dylan Hale, actually, the 17. So we'll show you the situation for the points coming into tonight. Rittenauer comes in 6th. A really good position. I'm not sure he's going to leave tonight in the 6th spot. Then again, Jeff Figlin's been through some hell, for lack of a better term, as well as some of these other guys, Dustin Majeski, and so on. Eric Drapeau, though, currently your leader, not even on that points list. He's not even in the top 20, and he's out here leading the way. I think he might be one of the part-timers, though. I do believe Sawyer was saying something to me about that, so that could be the deal there with Drapeau. Looking back to Chad Keene, he is in a really good spot right now. He's 2nd place and has a really fast car, a very clean car as well. It's going to be Patrick Langley in 3rd. Once more, going to take a short break to work a couple of things out. I will be right back. All right, and as we get ready to go back green, you can see the field lining up there, getting ready to go at it one more time. Closing in on the end of stage number 1 is this Iron Thunder Racing League group. And these guys have had a hard-fought battle up in the front. Oh, and actually, we were behind. I'm very sorry about that, but we're going green now. Drapeau with the lead off into 1. I was glad I caught that just in time. So back green here from Bristol. That was my bad. It's Langley and Keene off into 3. Langley on the bottom, and the number 77 Mobile 1 Toyota slides up. Contact out of 4. Keene falls back. Langley definitely squeezed him a little bit. Now Daniels to the bottom side. He wants 3rd back. Can't get it there. Going to fall back into 4th. Then it's going to be Kreiser on the top side, letting in Daniels. Maybe not for long. Daniels still working that bottom side. Kreiser on the top gets the run. Now going to go to the bottom side. The 39 car is, and it's Kreiser looking to the inside. He's going to wash right up into Ryan Daniels. Makes contact, then falls back. They'll sort it out. Behind them, it's going to be Kevin Hash now into is at 5th place. He wants to get after Ryan Daniels. He has a good car. Meanwhile, Kreiser's falling back. Now it's Sawyer Ott looking to get by him. Sawyer Ott, a pretty good car as well. He gets trapped on the bottom side, though. Here comes Aiden Young. He's getting that spot back. He's going for 7th. Further back, David Jedlicka, someone I haven't mentioned at all tonight, aside from the points. He is currently in 9th. He wants more, though, in that number 24. The 19, Donald Sadusky. He's also looking for some positions. Kelvin Masur in the 43. Then Aaron Carpenteri in the 7. He, I believe, has won recently and was involved in a couple events tonight, unfortunately, but he is currently soldiering on. He's in 12th. That's Thomas Cristiano right on his bumper. That's the 58 car. Then Dave Anderson in the 44. Dustin Majeski further back. Then it's Sean Dower, Sam Green. An epic battle there for position. That's for the 16th spot. Sean Dower in 17. Here comes the 5 car. It's Chris Gale. Chris Gale gets that spot from Sean Dower for now. Going to go back to the bottom side. Chris Gale looking for another position. He's going to get it. He's cleared him. He's going to move up, and he's going to take that spot away from Dower. Now it's going to be the 20 looking high. The 20, that's Pondo Co. Still going to use some of these names. The Ponderosa Outlaw Machine. As actually Chris Gale going to go for a big move in 3 and 4. That Mustang's going to clear another O. And that was the 51 of Green in the fence for just a moment out of 4. Here comes Pondo Co. back to the top side. He wants to get around Sam Green there in the Proton Mail 51. Can't do it just yet. Back up to the front, Drapeau leading. Then it's Patrick Langley and Chad Keene. Behind him, Kevin Hash has passed Ryan Daniels. Ryan Daniels has fallen all the way back to 7th place. Really unfortunate incidents there for him as he starts to fall back tonight. We'll try and view a couple of these other guys around the top 5. Zachary Kreiser currently in 5th. Holding on decently. Oh, this 77 going backwards. That was Patrick Langley. He just lost 2 spots in the corner. We're going to bring up your current top 20 as we get ready to end this first stage of 3. Langley back to the bottom side. You can see all the results on the right-hand side of the screen. So the top 10 currently cut off by Sawyer Ott. Watch that battle as these laps wind down. Drapeau now coming around to take 2 to go here in just a moment to the end of the stage. Laps are winding down here, guys. This can be a long race, but when you just let these guys go loose and turn green flag laps like this, they go by rather quickly. Drapeau under 2 laps to go. The rest of the field looking for positions. Kevin Hash wants to get by Chad Keene. Chad Keene in second, trying to hold off that 0-3-1 lap to go in this stage. Hash has to make a move, this time into 3. Will he do it? Can he make the slide job work? No, he's going to tuck in. It's a 77 of Langley going to the bottom side. Keene moved down to defend. Langley can't do anything. Almost contact ahead. And that's how they cross the line to finish stage number 1. You can see the rest of the battle is on the right-hand side of your screen. Masur gets Jedlicka, and Sawyer Ott falls out of the top 10 all the way back to 14th position. Chris Gale does not make it to the top 10, although he had a valiant effort. He made up a lot of spots. So Eric Drapeau wins stage 1. A very good stage 1 for him. He led every single lap, has started on the pole. I'm not sure there's going to be any touching that driver, quite honestly. He is just plain fast. He's going to come in and visit the pit lane. We'll try and watch the battle into the pits. Got to try and remember which camera is which. So an epic race thus far. A great way for it for stage number 1 to end, I'd say. You see everybody getting into their pit stalls now, and the 24 might have just taken 2 tires. He's going to leave pretty quickly. Then the 7 and the 19. Actually, you know what? No, that wouldn't make any sense. So, yeah, these guys, I think, might have just taken 2 tires. No, they're going to continue around. I'm not sure why they would have went through the wrong pit road at first. Must be a league rule there. Either way, we'll see how things work out. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Welcome back to the Bristol Motor Speedway as we get ready to go back racing. We're now into stage number 2, and I'll even update that on your screen for you. Getting ready to go into stage number 2. Drapeau is still your leader as we get ready to go back racing here from Bristol Motor Speedway. The Tennessee Mixing Bowl back to green flag here in just a moment. Drapeau, again, still your leader, off into turn 1. Gets a great restart over Chad Keene. Chad Keene going to hang on to second place, though. Aiden Young now battling for third. He's trying to race his teammate Zachary Kreiser. Then it's Ryan Daniels getting into the mix. So, really, a couple of very familiar drivers there battling for the most of the top 5, actually. Now that I think about it, 3rd through 5th of the top 5 taken up by a few friends right there. Ryan Daniels trying to get 4th place. Not going to work out just yet. We'll go on board with him. And we'll even take a look at some of Ryan's stats so far tonight. Just ran a pretty good lap time of 15.188. His fastest lap, about a 1/10 of a second quicker. But these guys still running pretty good lap times. Ryan hasn't led any laps yet. And you can see he's dealing with a pretty tight race car. That time, he was a little bit slower, unfortunately. Currently 5th, started 3rd. We'll go up to Ryan, sorry, not Ryan Daniels, Aiden Young. He's currently 3rd, started 6th. And he is turning lap times, again, about 2/10 off of what he ran for his fastest lap. And the same is almost true for Zachary Kreiser as a caution comes out. So we'll check out what happens here to bring this caution out. And let's see, there's newer slow race cars. Sawyer Ott may have been one of them. But Carpenteri in the pit lane stopped. It may have been that it was that 7 car. He went up for a heck of a ride. We'll go on board with him inside the car on the right side of the dash. We'll see what happens from his point of view. This is what happens to Carpenteri. He comes in very high in the points, just gets into the 24 actually, then follows him up into the fence, and I think he's going to get hit, and he does! Goes up and over. What a ride. What an unfortunate ending to his day. We'll see this from the TV camera point of view, and just gets into the 24, goes around, then gets hit by a couple of guys just not checking up. Dave Mattson, one of those. Very unfortunate there for Carpentary. Drapeau, though, is still your leader. So a couple of wild rides already tonight. Normally at Bristol, you're lucky to see, you know, rides like that once in a lifetime. And here we've seen two huge flips already. That might be a little easier for you to know exactly when the stage is. I just updated the top of the screen. So, again, this is the Old Schools night race at Bristol. Stage 2, currently what we're watching. It's laps 51 through 100. Then we'll have a 100-lap stage to the end of this race. It's been a decently quick race so far, about a half an hour in. And we've gone through just over 60 laps, so not too bad. But we have had our fair share of cautions. We'll throw that up on the screen now. 6 cautions thus far. Once we restart, it will be for 30 laps. Only 2 lead changes. I believe those were both under caution. So we'll see how the cautions may improve as the field thins out. Either way, though, these guys trying to settle in. Doing a pretty decent job so far. Just had quite a few incidents. Again, quite a few big incidents that you don't want to see at Bristol, but we've had them. And it's just a fact of racing sometimes, especially on these simulators. Crazy things happen, and it's hard to race around guys when the least bit of contact will definitely get them sideways, where at least if these were real cars, you would be able to get into one another and generally keep going. So I will give them that to their credit. We'll quickly look through the results thus far in this race. You can see that on the right-hand side of your screen now. And you can see Drapeau is still your leader. Chad Keene second, Aiden Young third, then Zach Kreiser, Ryan Daniels. Out of the top 5, it's going to be Langley, Anderson, Masur, Mustaine, and Majeski. The rest of your top 20, Sadusky, Green, Hash, Dower, and it just updated actually, so it's timing and scoring updates. You can see it on the bottom right of your screen. And we're going to get back racing here in just a moment, though. Again, want to thank those sponsors supporting this race, Old Schools Graphics and Designs, and of course the league itself, Iron Thunder Racing League. Getting ready to go back green here from Bristol. Drapeau, your leader, and as the pace car peels off, he'll be waiting for the mark. There he goes in the restart box. It's a huge jump again on Keene. Benefits of being the leader. If Keene can ever get there, this race is going to change entirely up at the front. A little further back, it's going to be Aiden Young for third. He's battling with Zachary Kreiser. Might clear him that time? No. Zachary Kreiser has the better corner. He's going to get third by a long shot. Got a big hole shot out of that fourth corner there to take that position. Langley tied up top. He gets in the wall. Daniel's going to go by. Will he clear him? No. Caution comes out. But Daniels had that spot, so that's good news for the 13 machine. As we look for the cause of the caution, Cristiano looks to be it. The 58 car, unfortunately, looks like is going to go around. Actually, it might not have been him. Looks like it might have been Chris Gale. It was definitely that 5 car, so we'll try and get him back on the screen. So watch this 5 car. Got Bugs Bunny on the door. I like it. I like it. The number 5 Mustang might have been in the aftermath, actually. Definitely was. Couldn't get stopped. It was Rittenauer and someone else, the 34 car there. That's Thunderdome again. I forget exactly who that is, but he's on a very nice Kodak machine on the top side of Dower. Gets in the wall, gets into Dower hard, and he's one of the race sponsors, unfortunately. Oh, and the 335 clobbered him. One of those being Sawyer. He's got a lot of front-end damage. Not sure how good that motor's going to be after that one. We'll go on board for that contact if we can. Got to find Sawyer again. And just watch this massive impact into one. He didn't know what was going on. Just big time into the back of the Yangling Rick and Morty number 3. Really unfortunate there. Some of these guys very, very fortunate, though, to get by that incident. That could have been a lot worse. Of course, when you have even one car go around here at Bristol Motor Speedway, it could be tragic for the rest of the field. Thankfully, that wasn't too bad. quickly want to remind you guys of the weather conditions here at Bristol Motor Speedway for tonight's Old School's night race at Bristol. 75 degrees in the air, little to no wind. That translates into a very cool racetrack, at least in terms, I guess, in comparison to normal iRacing races. Default weather on iRacing, 78 degrees. So this is a little bit on the cool end. However, it's a rather warm night race, if you will. These night races here at Bristol, usually a little bit cooler, down in the low 70s, maybe even the high 60s. So a little bit warm. I think that's contributing to some of the lack of front grip we're seeing. That's making some tighter race cars, making it a lot of fun to watch. But these guys can't throw those sliders like they usually can. When the cars are a little bit looser, you can pitch them off into the corner and make something work. But right now, these guys are either up on the wall and diamonding the corner, or they're running right through the middle of the track, and that's really hurting some of the double file racing. I think that's kind of what's contributing to these cautions. We'll take a look at your caution info thus far in this race. 7 cautions will be for 35 laps when we get back going green. Only 2 lead changes. So again, the weather kind of impacting the racing here tonight, contributing to a few more yellows and kind of taking away from the ability to race side by side. Definitely impacting the race. You see the 7 go by there. That was a little bit last minute, but it's going to work out. Pace car lights are off. These guys are getting ready to double up. Aiden Young finally gets up there on the outside of teammate Zach Kreiser. So as we get ready to go back green, definitely let me know out in the comments who you think will win this race. It's kind of a toss-up thus far, I'll be honest. But it has been a fun race to watch for me here in the booth for Pit Stop TV. But again, let me know who you think will win down in the comments. I'll be checking the chat. And green flag back on the speedway. You heard the call there from my spotter. And Drapeau with the big lead off into 1. But Keane battling on the top side. Can he get a run? He's going to go to the bottom side. He wants that spot. Is he finally going to get it? He's drawing side by side. Can't do it there, though. Ran out of racetrack. The 97 of Drapeau smartly came down, closed off some of the exit room he had. Caution out in the back one more time. A lot more cars involved. Pondo Co. And I believe that is the 5 Chris Gale as well. A lot of cars involved in this one. We'll watch Pondo Co. here. I think he might get hit from behind. No, it was all ahead of him. This starts with the 3 car. So the 3 was just involved in one, gets involved in another. That's BJ Hash. Haven't talked much about him. So we'll watch what happens here. He was racing with Ray Rittenauer Jr., otherwise known as Iron Eagle. He has Dylan Hale to the bottom side and just big contact, and then big contact with Figlin, actually. Oh, Figlin into the end of the pit wall. He's your points leader, guys. That's a big, big incident there for him. Let's track down that number 98 car. That's going to really impact the points race here in this series. Again, I'm brand new to it. The channel, brand new to it, but definitely want to cover it. He was first place in the point standings coming into tonight. I don't think he will leave in that position. While we have the time, I'll quickly pull up your point standings one more time. You see Figlin came in with a 2-point lead over Carpentary. You know what? Let's compare this to the current race results. I don't even see Carpentary on this list or Figlin. Do we have a Majeski? We do. So you know what? I would certainly point to him being the points leader after tonight's race here. Would also look at Sawyer Ott. He comes in just 6 points out of the lead, 3 points behind Majeski. So he could be in the talks of taking over at least second place, if not also the points lead. Watch that number 35. He is currently in 12th. Want to quickly thank everyone out there watching for choosing Pit Stop TV tonight. There's a lot of broadcasters you can go watch, a lot of races you can go watch, but you are all here with me tonight, sharing my time and Believe me, a lot of time was put into just this overlay alone. So, definitely, again, want to thank you guys for supporting the league you're watching, supporting the channel you're watching. Also want to quickly thank the sponsors for helping out tonight. Again, the league itself, Iron Thunder Racing League, for being a pretty good partner here tonight, getting this all set up with me. And also want to thank Old School's Graphics and Designs for making it happen, making this this race actually sponsored by them, and being what seems to be a pretty good partner of the league in general. So as we get ready to go back, Green Flag Racing, Drapeau, still your leader, has led just about every single lap thus far. Actually, we can see exactly how many he's led thus far. Everything aside from 3 laps so far. He is your race leader, gets the restart. A very slow restart from him. Keane might have a chance, this time by Langley helping him on the top side. Keane working that top, going to have a run out of 2, I believe. And he's got that big run off into turn 3, lead change. It's going to be Chad Keane. He's fighting back still. Here comes the 97 contact there from the 77. Oh, Ryan Daniels goes around.
All right, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
And a big wreck there. I believe Kreiser got into Daniels. And that's exactly what happens. Watch this here. This is a big incident down the front straight away here at Bristol. 1 lap after the restart. Kreiser into Daniels. This is up at the front. We haven't seen a lot of cautions up at the front, actually. These guys have been pretty calm. But this time we see Kreiser get into the back end of the 13. The 13 actually checked up and came down the track a little bit, so credit to Kreiser there a little bit. The 12 was involved. The 09 was involved, and Pondo Co came in as well. A couple of these guys flying through, maybe didn't have time to check up or didn't see the wreck or just didn't check up, but nonetheless, some big hits there. The biggest, I think, for Ryan Daniels, who had a pretty up-looking night, as well as a 12 car, actually. The 12 was looking pretty good, too. Paul Smith, he was involved big time. That Fitzgerald glider kit's number 12. Up at the front, though, it's still... No, it's not Drapeau, sorry. It is now Keane and then Drapeau. So a lead change, finally. We'll see how that one works out for the 9 car. Once more, I quickly want to thank everybody watching. We're going to take one more commercial break, possibly a few more throughout the race, but stay right here at Pit Stop TV for more of the Old School's night race at Bristol. back just in time to go back green flag racing here in just a moment. Finally, a change in pace up at the front. Chad Keene, now your leader after fighting so hard for so long. Tore up that car just a little bit, but the famous Dave's 9 machine now in front. Drapeau in second. The 9 gets a good restart. He's going to get that launch off into 1. Advantage of being the leader. Now it's Langley to the bottom side. He wants second place. He's going to take it for now. Can he clear the 97 of Drapeau? He will. So Langley now to second. Drapeau to third. Struggling with the restart. Gets into the wall. Going to drive off it, though. And now it's Aiden Young into fourth ahead of Dave Anderson. He hasn't been in the top 5 all night until now. Now that 44 getting into it. It's going to be Kelvin Masur in the number 6 spot in the number 43 car. Then John Mustaine Jr., I believe one of the bigger names here in this series, currently in 7th. Going to be watching out for him. Then it's Dustin Majeski in the number 30. One of the other famous Dave's machines and could possibly be your points leader after tonight's race. Going to be watching that battle a little bit more. Then it's Kevin Hash. And oh, contact out of 4. They save it. And the stage battle will be winding down here momentarily. It's Jed Licka in 10th, Sadusky in 11th, Sam Green then in 12th. These guys looking to get into the top 10 for the stage. Sawyer Ott, he's coming through the field. He's up into 12th position now. 13th. Yes, 12th as he gets by Sam Green, sorry. Then Zach Kreiser, he wants to get that spot as well. That would be for 13th. Then is Ray Rittenauer Jr. in the 87. He's been having a quiet day. Oh, contact again! Sam Green pushes Zachary Kreiser up into the fence. Nat 51 looking tight. Might want to consider a different line through the corners as he's put 2 cars almost in the wall. Now Ray Rittenauer going for a big move into 3. He gets by Kreiser. Now looking to get by Green. Chris Gale a little further back. He's in 16th. Then Matt Cherry and Paul Smith. Caution out. And it's ahead of these guys. Sadusky around, I believe. And it is Sadusky. The number 19 car will get a replay here for you. Watch that number 19. He was between the 88 and the 35. He's going to wash up. Oh, the 88 gets into the wall hard. And just ricocheted down into the 19, sending him around. Sadusky, nothing to do with it. It was all the 88 car getting a little bit tight. Just a little bit tight, and that was John Mustaine. He continued on despite that heavy contact with both the wall and the 19 car. It actually straightened him out. No, it didn't. He was still drifting off into a great save there by Mustaine despite getting into that wall hard. And then the 19 car, a great save from Mustaine Jr. He'll hang on to his spot. Up at the front is still Chad Keene. This may end the stage. We may also have a short little battle to the end of stage number 2. And I think we just might get a talk with our stage winner here in a moment. Either way, Chad Keene looking to be our stage number 2 winner. Stage number 1 went to Drapeau. Drapeau got second place back from Langley by that caution. We'll see how this works out here in just a moment. We'll be right back at the Bristol Motor Speedway. back just in time to go green. And again, it's, Chad Keene leading the race. Drapeau to the outside. 1 lap to go in stage number 2. And Keene gets a great restart. Undoubtedly should be the stage winner. We'll watch this battle out. Langley had second place at the line. We'll see what he can do with Drapeau, the 77, battling the 97. 77 still on the bottom side. Couldn't clear him that time out of 2. Aiden Young into 4th. He wants 3rd. Can he get it? Drapeau going to get 3rd. Langley gets 2nd. Oh, it's a drag race. No, it was still Langley over Drapeau. Caution is out. That's the end of stage number 2. And that will be your stage 2 standings there after 100 laps. You can see the top 10. It's Keene, Langley, Drapeau, Young, Hash, Anderson, Masur, Ott, Majeski, and Jedlicka. Want to draw special attention to Sawyer Ott and Dustin Majeski. Those could be your 2 points leaders after this race. And at this halfway point, again, want to thank the sponsors that put their heart and soul into this event. Mostly going to be Old School's Graphics and Designs for sponsoring this event itself. And it then is the Old School's Night Race at Bristol. You see that at the top of your screen. Also want to thank the league itself for making this work tonight, contacting me, getting this all set up. Iron Thunder Racing League, a very good-looking league from the looks of things so far. And as we settle in here tonight, Zachary Kreiser staying out, possibly looking to take the lead here into the final stage. Could be a big, big power move. So as the stage information updates at the top of your screen, you see your current leader, your current race leader here, the number 39 of Zachary Kreiser. We're going to try and interview our stage number 2 winner on the next caution. I had a little bit too much going on this caution to do so. So we'll try and talk to Chad Keene next caution that we get. He was your stage 2 winner. Then we'll try and contact our stage 1 winner. That was Drapeau. So we'll try and talk to Keene and Drapeau at some point. Eric Drapeau there in 5th. We'll look at some of his race stats, and then Chad Keene. 77 laps led so far for that number 97 car. A great run. Not sure how he can be too upset with it thus far. Just has to go back into the lead, and then he will have pretty much, I think the race wrapped up. If he can get back up there around lap 180 or so, obviously anything can still happen from there, but I think he'll have a really good chance of winning this race. Then Chad Keene in 4th. Look at some of his stats. He's led 22 laps thus far tonight. And up at the front, Zachary Kreiser has now led 2 laps. He started outside pole. Took a while to get up to the lead, but he's finally done it, ladies and gentlemen. Zachary Kreiser, now your leader. We'll see what he can do. He has John Mustaine Jr., one of the, I believe, bigger names in this series, but somewhat unproven tonight with all that damage on his car. We'll have to wait and see how he does. Looks like Zachary Kreiser electing to take the top side on the restart. Again, I'm pretty new to the league. I'm not sure if they can do that. Obviously, it looks like they can if he's taking the outside. Zachary Kreiser will be electing to restart from the top side. Privileges of being the leader on a restart. He's going to have a huge launch off into turn number 1. More than likely, anyways. As long as Mustaine doesn't nail this restart perfectly, we should be considering Kreiser our leader very easily on turn number 1. We'll see what happens this time. Green flag coming back out. Kreiser gets a great run and has the lead by many car lengths off into 1. Then it's Drapeau. He's into 2nd, and then backs out of it, actually. Mustaine going to take 2nd place back. Chad Keene now into 4th in contact there, looking for 2nd place. It's Drapeau. Drapeau trying to fight the bottom side, and he's going to turn him. A big accident into turn 1, and more cars getting involved. that all started with contact from Drapeau. You see it here, just gets into the 88 of Mustaine Jr., and then it's on. So we'll try and find that 88 now as well. And Rittenauer was involved. The 12 was involved. The 5 of Gale was involved. Way too many cars were involved in that one. That was a driver being aggressive. I don't want to badmouth these guys, of course. Still brand new, but I guess my little understanding of that would just be somebody trying to get a little bit of a position and just got into the left rear a little bit. It was just being aggressive, and I mean, that's excusable for Bristol, quite honestly. Unfortunately, it's going to hurt a lot of cars. Again, excusable for Bristol. You're going to get aggressive with guys, and just a little bit of contact sends them around. So I'm not necessarily saying it's a bad thing that Drapeau was being aggressive, but that was certainly the cause of it there. Very, very unfortunate. We'll go to the blimp cam. You can see how it all unfolds into turn number 1. It's just a big mess off into 1. These guys getting on their brakes hard, spinning out. Rittenauer actually did a pretty good job of saving that 87. Unfortunately, though, cars involved. Not sure how that'll impact the points race, but it's certainly going to impact it a bit. Kreiser's still your leader, so that's one of the big stories to me, considering he fell back for quite a bit of the race and just found himself at the perfect time in the lead. He avoided that incident, considering he was well ahead of it. He's got the cleanest car out of the top 5, I think. Aside from maybe his teammate Aiden Young. I mean, at this point, you got to start thinking about maybe Zachary Kreiser winning. Although, I do want to see if we can dial up our second place driver. Like I said, I would. It's going to be Chad Keene. I'm going to try and get him in here just in time to get a quick word with him. Let's see, if pace car lights are still on here at the line, we'll talk to him. And they are. So we'll talk to Chad Keene real quickly. Chad Keene, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Chad, been fun watching you battle up front there now with Zachary Kreiser, earlier with Eric Drapeau. But from your eyes, what just happened on that big caution?
All these cars are tore up and just a wrecked car, and it's so hard to tell until you get up to speed how slow you'll be. And we had cars in front of me getting the wall, and we all just got into it together.
I think that's a pretty fair assessment there. As far as your car and the rest of the race, you won stage number 2. Do you think you can win this thing overall?
It all comes down to who gets the best luck of the draw. It's so hard to tell with these cautions. Once we get some green flag runs, we'll figure out who's about to win this thing.
All right, sounds good. Best of luck on this restart, bud. Be watching you.
Yep, have a good one.
And we'll get him moved back down to his teammates. That was Chad Keene. Good talking to him real quick. And so we'll see how this all shakes up off into turn number 1. Zachary Kreiser with the advantage, being the leader. We just talked to Chad Keene very quickly. He's on the bottom side. He's restarting second place. He's in the number 9 Famous Dave's machine. Coming to the restart zone. Zachary Kreiser fires off really early. Gets a big lead into 1. And Keene protecting. He moves up in front of Aiden Young. He's going to protect that second spot for now. Now he's going to go on the assault, trying to get up to Zachary Kreiser. Can he make the pass? He's going to fire off into 3, using that bottom side. A big move from Chad Keene. Draws alongside. Can't do anything yet. Here he comes. Another big move into 1. Will he be able to do it? Not yet. Couldn't do anything that time by, so he's going to fall in line. Now here comes Aiden Young. He wants second place. He's going to get it. That Camaro looking pretty good. So now Aiden Young into second. Does he have something for Zachary Kreiser? As Kreiser almost gets the wall, almost contact out of turn number 2, that is. Aiden Young looking for the first place for the first time all night long. He's got hit. Chad Keene goes around.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
And a big incident there. Chad Keene just washed up into the number 69, and we were just talking to Chad right there before that caution. We'll watch this one more time. Watch the number 9 car. Just gets into the 69, then hits the inside wall. And it looks like he took Chris Gale with him. Indeed. Oh, Chris Gale had something else happen to him, actually. We'll watch that as well. So what happens to this 5 car? He was actually behind Jeff Figlin, Ryan Daniels, some of these guys in the back with fast repairs. And what happens to the 5 car? Oh, Ryan Daniels actually checked up, and Chris Gale did not. Ran right over the back of the 13, went for a spin, and then hit the number 9. Zachary Kreiser, though, is still your leader. And you know what? I'm gonna give Drapeau a little more time to cool down in case he's upset from that incident a little while ago. Instead, I have a certain driver in mind to talk to. It's gonna be Zachary Kreiser, our current leader. Been a while since I've talked to this guy, but Zachary Kreiser, do you have a copy?
Yeah, hey.
Well, Zach, it's been a little while, but we're back talking to you here on a Pit Stop TV broadcast, and now you're the leader. How's that car feel?
She feels like $1,000,000 right now up front. This is definitely a a hard track here, and it seems like we're having a wreck fest out there. Maybe we're having an old derby fest, but hopefully we can keep it clean here.
Well, it certainly seems like you got into the lead at just the right time because there was a big wreck right behind you with some of those guys that were battling really hard for the lead. I mean, what was the strategy you called there to just get the lead?
I mean, I was trying to get stage points there, but unfortunately I got in with the 13 Ryan there. I mean, it was just kind of a racing incident, so I didn't want to push it too hard, so I figured I would, I knew we were 1 lap shootout then, stage 2 there, excuse me, and I just kind of got down there, got 4 tires and full fuel, and I was hoping everyone would pit and get some track position here, and hopefully I can stretch this fuel out here to the end.
Well, I don't want to put you on edge, but I actually just talked to Chad Keene right before that caution, and he just went around. But best of luck. Hopefully, it's not the commentator's curse for you, too. Either way, I wanted to quickly talk to you, get some opinions from the drivers. Yeah, just best of luck. Do you think you can maybe outlast Aiden Young here on this restart?
We'll see. It's kind of the sim's kind of being a little choppy here on my end here, but he has a fast car as well, so hopefully we'll just get to the top 5 here. It'll be good to get the victory, though.
All right, well, best of luck to you, Zach. Hopefully we're talking to you later on.
All right, 10-4.
And that was Zachary Kreiser as I move him back down there with his teammates. Doing very good so far. His teammate Aiden Young in his mirror. That will be a fun restart to watch down on turn number 1 this next time around. So as they get ready to get back going, just under 20 laps led so far by that 39, and he just took the lead. So that 39 definitely hanging on to that lead so far, and if he keeps getting these cautions just like he wants them, he might be able to hang on for the race win. Even if he just stays out from here to the end, he might have a chance at it just by doing that. We'll see what he does. We'll see what he elects to do. Aiden Young restarting on the bottom side. That is for second place. Then it goes back actually to Kevin Hash in third, Dave Anderson in fourth. As we get ready to go back green here tonight, this should be an exciting restart. Teammates up at the front. We'll see how they do off into turn 1. This should be a great vantage point of the battle. Zachary Kreiser with the call. He goes really early, catches Aiden Young sleeping a little bit. Aiden's going to move up. No, he's not going to move up just yet. He's going to elect to stay on the bottom for now, then move up, I'd imagine. He's going to hang on to second place easily. Kevin Hash behind him, then Dave Anderson. Then it's Patrick Langley. He has a pretty good car. Be watching out for that 77 car. He's going to make the pass on Anderson. Gets that position quickly. Great move there from the 77, who is definitely firing off on all 8 cylinders. Then it's Sawyer Ott, who had some damage just a little while ago. He's breaking the top 5, and we could be talking about him in the top 2 in points after tonight's race. So Sawyer Ott looking good, that 35 car. And something has happened to Patrick Langley again. He's now battling with Eric Drapeau back here for 7th and 8th position. Something happened to that 77. He got sent way back. Aiden Young still second place. Then it's Kevin Hash. Then it goes to Sawyer Ott, who's now looking for 3rd. Can he get on the podium? So far, he says yes. Then he backs out a little bit early. Got a little bit tight into 3. So he has to back out. Cross the line there. And it's still the same top 5 pretty much as it was a couple of laps ago once Patrick Langley fell out. Dave Anderson now falls back, so it's Kelvin Masur into the top 5. Then it's Eric Drapeau. He's getting back into things. Look at that 97 car getting back into it. But now let's watch that 43 car, the Captain Morgan machine. He's on the top side defending that 5th position. He wants to keep Drapeau behind him, obviously, but I don't think it's going to happen. Drapeau, with a very good car, led a lot of this race at the start, started on pole, and he's working his way back through. Gets 5th at the line there. Now looking for 4th if he can pull the slider on Sawyer Rott. Can't do it just yet. We'll see what he does into 3. Doesn't quite make a move, but still running that bottom side. A little further back, the battle for the top 10 spots here is going to conclude with Aaron Carpenteri and Dustin Majeski. We could be talking about him in the points lead here after tonight's race. Sam Green, he's now back into 11th. That's Ray Rittenauer Jr. He's been in quite a bit of events so far tonight. Thankfully, though, had a fast mirror in the bank. Got back going. Oh, and he actually gets loose into 1. He might have bottomed out actually and destroyed the right side of that car, but he continues on. Still in 12th. Good save there. Zachary Kreiser, though, still your leader. Now lap 132, and a caution comes out. Oh, and it's Dylan Hale. No, it's not Dylan Hale. Well, it might be. Let's check here. It was not. So I would guess it might have been Jedlicka, actually. Maybe not. Possibly Matt Cherry? He just got back on the track, or back on the lead lap, one of the two. So we'll see what happens here. Definitely sit tight with me. I'm trying to find where this one just happened. Might have actually involved Mustaine Jr., so we'll watch this 88. Trying to find the origin of this next caution of the race. Oh, it might have been right. Oh, it was up ahead. It was the 12 car. That starts off with Paul Smith in the 12, and then Ryan Daniels is involved, and more happens after that. So what happens here with the 12? He was behind Rittenauer, pulls the slider on the 92, and just gets hit. And it's a big wreck down the back, front straightaway, actually. Ryan Daniels hardly got any damage. No, gets 0 damage. Just went around from braking, trying to avoid that wreck. Pretty lucky break for him to get stopped before he got involved in that one. Zachary Kreiser, though, is still your race leader. And since we have the time, we'll go ahead and see if we can dial up this number 97 now. Eric Drapeau was your pole sitter, now in 4th position. See if I can find him. Eric Drapeau, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Eric, you had an amazing first stage there. Led pretty much everything to the conclusion of stage number 1. Then you lost the lead just before the end of stage number 2. How'd you lose it?
I mean, kind of slept on the restart, to be honest. There was a one-lap shootout with the 9 car on the inside, and 9 car did an amazing job keeping up to him. Him and the 77 were actually really competitive up front. I kind of slept on the restart, to be honest, and that cost me the stage, and then got into the little incident with the 88. That's Bristol. That's shortcut track racing, and working my way up so far.
Yeah, you're back up into the 4th position now and looking for more. Do you think you can close this race win out?
I mean, I just took down pit road, filled it up. Should be good on fuel for the end. Got 2 tires on it, just make sure you got a little more rotation out of it. And we'll see with all the cautions we got. It's going to be pretty much a shuffle. I don't know about strategy, but should be really interesting.
Well, I like the confidence there. I like the good-sounding words. Best of luck here, Eric. We'll be watching that number 97. You started on pole, had a good race so far, and hopefully we're talking to you later on.
Thank you, man, and good. Thank you for the broadcast as well.
No problem. And that was Eric Drapeau. We'll move him back down there with his teammates. And a big race for him so far. We'll see how he does here. Actually, a big checkup on the top side under yellow, but they get through that. Either way, be watching that 97 on this restart. He's on the top side where he wants to be. Then it's Zachary Kreiser leading this race, still restarting on the top side. We'll see how he does this time. Has his teammate back to the inside for this restart. Aiden Young laying back just a little bit. Gets kind of a poor restart, actually, for that 69. Zachary Kreiser, pretty good restart off into 1, though. We'll see how Aiden Young handles that restart. On the bottom side, going to clear Drapeau rather easily. A big move there for Aiden Young. He'll hang on to second place. But here comes that 97 finally. Eric Drapeau going to go to work on that 69, and a caution comes out. This will be another one I struggled to find the origins of. I think it might have been here with the 24 car, though. And possibly Chris Gale. You know, I don't think it was them. I couldn't tell you where that one was, unfortunately. So we're going to have to go without a replay there. We're going to take a commercial break before we come back for the final 60 laps of this race. It's been the Iron Thunder Racing League Old Schools Night Race at Bristol. Stay tuned. Welcome back here to the Bristol Motor Speedway, getting ready to get back restarted. Pace car lights are off. Zachary Kreiser still your leader. Quickly want to thank the Iron Thunder Racing League for being a great partner of PSI TV tonight. Also want to thank Old Schools Graphics and Designs for sponsoring the league, sponsoring this night race at Bristol. And as we get ready to go back racing, it's Zachary Kreiser on the top for the restart. Gets a big run on his teammate Aiden Young, who just might lose second place. The line, he definitely does. Eric Hash going to take over second place. Aiden Young going to fight back, can't do it. Then it's Mustaine Jr. on the top side. He wants fourth. He's going to get it for now. Mustaine taking that top line away from Eric Drapeau. Going to hold our pole sitter in line. Oh, Drapeau gets into Aiden Young. 3 wide off of 4. Aiden backs out. Just over 50 laps to go, almost into the final quarter of this race here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway. Oh, a big contact!
All right, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
Something happened to Zachary Kreiser, and I think it had to do with Dylan Hale. Aiden Young goes around to the pit lane. We will find that 17 car, because I think it starts with him. Oh, he just merged straight into the leader, Zachary Kreiser. What was that? Something happened to his car, I think. certainly some drivers not going to be happy about that. Just drove straight up into the race leader. What just happened? The Dropbox machine just dropped anchor and ends up in the door of the race leader again. Wow, I can't believe what I just witnessed. And then it's just on from there. These guys getting involved. Kreiser honestly got through decently aside from the door damage. I don't think his motor will be too messed up. It's going to be a matter of suspension damage to his car. I don't know how to even call that. It's not often that you can stun me. Just ask my friends. It's not often that you can just leave me entirely speechless. And that leaves me entirely speechless. I mean, I don't want to be too harsh to anybody, but that just looks incredibly intentional. And if it wasn't intentional, I don't know what to say about that. That was certainly interesting. We'll try and get some clarification later on. We'll leave it as it is for now. Either way, I want to quickly again thank the Race League, Iron Thunder Racing League. Just can't thank them enough for getting us on board tonight. Same with Old School's graphics and designs. Without them, it wouldn't be possible, but also without everybody watching here tonight, all of you guys, the 13 currently watching, again, it would not be possible. Thank you for choosing to spend the night here with Pits.tv. Hopefully, you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We don't stream to YouTube too much anymore, but when we do, it's certainly worth it. And if you want to follow us on Facebook, I certainly recommend it. Go to facebook.com/Pits.tv/ and it is certainly worth your time, I do believe. And again, you can see the new overlays here on the screen. I think it's been a pretty big success so far tonight. I think they look pretty darn good. We'll get a blimp shot here, but I think they look pretty good. And we're going to show you the point standings coming into tonight's race. Jeff Figlin was your leader. I don't think it'll stay that way. Carpenteri, and I'll actually bring up the results too so we can compare. Carpenteri not having a great night either, but he is up into 7th place, and he might hang on to that 2nd position. Majeski, though, looking to pass him up. They are going to be side by side for this restart. Sawyer also looking for a big points bearing night. Jeff Figlin also looking to try and hang on to his points lead. He comes in 1st. Would currently be 4th out of those top 4. So as we get ready to go back green, a brand new leader out front for the first time all night. It's Kevin Hash, but Eric Drapeau, look at him on the bottom side. He wants to take that lead back. What will happen off into turn number 1? Kevin Hash, your leader, going to restart from the top side. Watch that 03 car get that big jump. Then it's Mustaine Jr. on the top side. Doesn't get a very good restart. That car is damaged. So now Drapeau through to 2nd place. Can he get up and retake the lead? It's Dave Anderson on his bumper. Oh, and a big wreck. It's Mustaine around.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Oh, and more cars involved. The 92, the 12 of Paul Smith, and more. A devastating restart. Jonathan Grissom involved again, I believe. But more importantly, Mustaine Jr., he was up in the front, was just putting on with that damage. You see Grissom get involved there. What happens here to the 88 car of Jonathan Mustaine Jr.? Well, we're about to see. It's the 88 Old School's Motorsports Toyota Camry. Watch that black and red car gets into the wall. Oh, comes down the track down into Majeski. Majeski makes contact with his rear end, and then it's on from there. The blimp view this time. Watch this wreck out of turn number 2. Thankfully, Majeski avoided incident for the most part. No, actually, he got turned, saved it though. So he doesn't get too much damage. We'll continue on. Up at the front, still your leader is Kevin Hash, and that's a new one. As we now get to 48 laps to go, inside 50 to go, inside the final quarter of this race. So now the laps will be posted as such up at the top left of your screen. And this is where things will get interesting. Currently, though, what about we talk to a driver who we've been talking about a lot tonight but haven't talked to yet. It's going to be Ryan Daniels. We'll see if we can contact him for the first time all night. Ryan Daniels, you got a copy?
Yo?
It's been an interesting night so far, watching you go from the front to the back to the front to the back, and now working your way back up to the front. Man, it was pretty cool seeing you here when I loaded in. How's that 13 car feeling?
The 13 Dynaco machine is hauling tonight. We've had a few issues just checking up for yellows tonight, which we've, as I'm sure you've noted, have had an abundance of, but you know, it's going pretty good. We're just trying to get back to the top 5. We're 2 to green now, so, you know, we're just going to see what we can get out of the 13. It's my last night in the 13. I'll be going to my lucky 28 starting next week, so we'll see what happens if I can get one more good run out of the 13 car.
Well, hopefully it does turn out to a decent night. You were up there for a while. You started 3rd place, so certainly you have a good 13 car underneath you. Hopefully you can get back up there. Final thoughts before we go back restarting just into the final quarter of the race.
Yeah, I mean, only thoughts really are just to hope to keep the car clean the rest of the way. We had to use our fast repair earlier after the engine blew. Lost 3 laps, got the 3 laps back. Like you said, we're back in the top 10. I know I've got a solid car because it was able to start 3rd, and that's not something I usually do, so we'll see what we can get out of it. Maybe I can get lucky and try to squeak out a podium or a win in this thing if we're really, really lucky. So,
all right. Well, best of luck to you, buddy. Hopefully we're talking to you later on.
Yep. Thanks, Andrew. Catch you guys later.
And that was Ryan Daniels in the number 13. Hopefully we're talking to him later. He's a pretty cool guy to talk to, actually. But up at the front, Kevin Hash, your leader. A new name to me, but certainly cementing his name in my memory, at least for the time being, considering he has just had an up-and-down night. He was in the back, hadn't mentioned him for a while until about lap 100. Now he's up in the front, leading the race. Kevin Hash in the 03, the good wrench, Camaro, with a big lead into turn number 1. Eric Drapeau trying to chase him down. And here's the 7 car, real quick. Carpenteri has been through everything tonight. He's even been up on his roof. I think he's in the same car. Oh! And Keane goes around, and Carpenteri's pushed into the wall.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
Rittenhour's involved. Ryan Daniels snakes through. He gets into it last second. Oh, man. And the curse continues. We'll check out what happens here. First to Ryan Daniels, then to the rest of the field. We were just talking to Ryan. Unfortunately, he almost snaked through this one. He almost got through it. And just in the last few moments of that wreck, couldn't get by anymore. Gets through there so far. So good. And then just Sawyer Rock came back up the track and contact there. Unfortunately, Ryan going to go way to the back now. But that's going to start up ahead with the 44. He pushes the 7 car into the wall. And then there was another incident right behind that I called out at first, and it was with the 9 car. That was the number. So Chad Keane, we talked to him earlier on, and immediately after he was involved in something. Now he's involved in another wreck. It was Patrick Langley from behind who just gets right into him twice, just knocks him out of the way, spins him around, gets hit T-boned broadside by the 30 of Majeski, and this changes everything, ladies and gentlemen. Everything's been changed up in the front thanks to this one. So we now have a top 5 that is just totally shaken up. I can definitely understand Kevin Hash, or not Kevin Hash, but Eric Drapeau. Kevin Hash came out of nowhere. He started 8th, but fell way back really early. Now he's back into the top 10, and in fact into the lead. He's led almost 20 laps so far. Eric Drapeau, 2nd place, he's led almost 80. Then it's Dave Anderson. Hasn't led anything. He started 9th. He's up into 3rd. Then it's going to be Patrick Langley, who started 7th, was in the front for quite a while earlier on, but has just been in a lot of incidents, has actually hit quite a few cars, but is still hanging on. He's in the number 77, has some speed, just has to figure out how to get through some of these guys. And rounding out your top 5, after starting 30th in the number 30, comes into tonight in a bit of an interesting points position. It's Dustin Majeski in 5th place, and let's show you that points position actually as he comes into tonight. He comes in 3rd, 3 points back, and I think currently he would have your points lead leaving Bristol. So of the guys up in the top 10 that have had bad nights, Jeff Finglin, check. Aaron Carpenteri, check. Dustin Majeski, check, but he's still up into 5th. Sawyer Ott, check. Chris Gale, check. Actually, Chris Gale is into 14th now. Ray Rittenauer, check. Matthew Welsenbach, check. Paul Smith, check. Sam Green, check. David Jadlicka, check. The entire top 10 having huge issues here tonight. We'll see if they can turn their nights around. Kevin Hash, your leader, coming to the restart. And this has just been one chaotic wreck. Eric Drapeau has been the most consistent of any on this racetrack. We'll see if he can get the lead back. He's led almost 80 laps thus far. Kevin Hash just over 20. Kevin Hash with the restart power here. Going to choose when to go. He fires off a little bit late, actually. Drapeau, though, can't get going. So it's going to be Langley in a 2nd place. Langley with a big run on the top side. He gets 2nd pretty solidly for now over Drapeau. And that's big for that 77 machine. Less cars to pass means he has a better chance to get up into the lead. So we'll see what he can do. Caution out in the back, though. Paul Smith, I think maybe. No, Carpenteri, maybe. Hang on, I see a couple of other slower cars. Aiden Young might have been involved in that one. I do believe he was. Very unfortunate for that driver. He was behind Chad Keene. Oh, he got into Keene, and then Keene came down into him, and that was a big hit for Aiden Young. And that should be Aiden's night. Unfortunately, I think his motor's done after that, and I believe he's already used a fast repair. So, terrible break for him. Aiden Young, again, getting into an incident. And really just barely got up underneath the back end of the 9 car out of the corner. Just got him loose, though. And it sent him around. Kevin Hash, though, your leader, will take our at least one more commercial break before the end of this race. Let me freshen up for the final little jaunt to the end. 35 laps to go. Stay tuned in here to Pit Stop TV.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Getting ready to go back green here tonight from Bristol. Once again, gotta thank Iron Thunder Racing League for putting this on, and Old Schools Motorsports, or Old Schools Graphics and Designs, for sponsoring the race. It's the Old Schools Night Race here at Bristol Motor Speedway, getting ready to go back green. Kevin Hash, your leader. We'll see how they do off into turn number 1. Gets a big restart. Patrick Langley, Dave Anderson battling behind him. That's for second place. This will be an interesting battle into 1. Dave Anderson looking low, can't do anything with it. And actually, he might get a run here into 3. No, he's going to duck him behind. The 44 is sitting still for now. Eric Drapeau into 4th, wants to go back into the top 3, if not for the lead. Sam Green breaking his way into the top 5 for the first time all night long. Great run by him. Again, got to thank everybody for tuning in, and got to remind you that if you want to advertise on Pit Stop TV, you are encouraged to do so. Just go ahead and contact us on Facebook at facebook.com/pitstoptv/ and you can get your company's commercial in one of these commercial slots in these cautions, or even during a green flag lull, and especially mentioned at the start and end of these broadcasts and all in between. We appreciate your support, and in turn, we will help support you. Caution out in the back, though, going to shake things up once more. I think it's Jed Licka this time, and it is. The number 24, paying homage to Jeff Gordon. And I think he's just going to get hit here by Zachary Kreiser, possibly, definitely. He just gets hit by the 39 and goes around. Hashtag 24 ever going to need hashtag 4 new tires. And we'll see how he does after that. After flat spotting those ones, he'll be able to get back going. Just over 25 laps to go. Kevin Hash, still your leader, and now is when you start to consider the underdog win possibility for him. So you know what? Let's go ahead and track him down, maybe talk to that race leader, see how he's doing. It's the 03 up in front. Kevin Hash, how you doing? Do you have a copy?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good, and man, you talk fast. I like that. But how you doing in that 03 car?
I'm doing well. The Sisson's Collision and Custom Paint Chevrolet Camaro for the Ponderosa Outlaws is doing pretty well up here. I'm actually surprised how good it's doing out here on a little bit older tires than the rest of the field.
Yeah, I've been talking about how you started decently in the top 10, then kind of fell back, and now out of nowhere, you're our race leader now for over 30 laps. Now as we get into the final 8th of this race, 25 laps to go this time by, do you think you can get up there and hang on for the win?
I believe so. We're running, I mean, that last time I gave it a little bit more than I normally was. I was trying to save tires, but now we're getting toward the end. It looks like it's going to be cautions breeding cautions. I'm trying not to burn them up completely that way in case Langley or Anderson or that 97 car. That 97 car is pretty dang fast. Any of them, you know, it's going to be a tough show if they can get a good run. I'm trying to jump on these restarts, trying to get a little bit of distance so I can set my own pace. I think if I can do that, I can stay out front, and I believe I can do really good. If I get back there in traffic, I'm probably not going to be as good. It's not that easy to pass here, the line I'm liking to run.
Yeah, we've noticed it's a very top, I guess, oriented race, just like normal with these cars here at Bristol. And you can't really pull off those big sliders like you would be able to if it was a little bit cooler, had a little more grip. Have you noticed, I guess, a lack of front grip? Because it certainly looked like it.
Yeah, this new anti-roll bar package in these cars are a little bit weird. I've noticed that, especially with the fixed sets. I still haven't figured it out on the open set side either, but it's definitely feeling like it wants to push more than it used to. It definitely don't have as much grip as it used to.
All right, well, thanks for the clarification there, at least from your point of view. Best of luck on this restart. And real quick, before I let you go, who do you have to thank for that good run so far in that 03 car?
Mainly my sponsor, Austin Collision and Custom Paint out of Carroll County, Virginia. I actually work there. You know, boss is a great guy. I don't know if he's watching tonight. I don't think I got the link to him in time, but I know he'll enjoy rewatching this. Sawyer for putting the league on. Jeff Figlin, he's a good buddy of mine, and all my teammates at the Ponderosa Outlaws, especially Pondo Co. I know he's watching.
All right, saw him a little while ago. Best of luck to you here, Kevin. It's been a lot of fun watching you so far. Hopefully we're talking to you later on.
In 4, hopefully.
And that was Kevin Hash, and I like that guy. That was fun. He was fun to talk to. So as we get ready to get back going, he is your race leader, Kevin Hash, the number 03 car. We'll see how he does here. He's on the outside of Patrick Langley. There is a little bit of skipping. Hopefully I can work that out. It might be an iRacing issue, but as we get back, green flag here. The 03 gets a big jump off into turn number 1. Kevin Hash getting a pretty decent jump on the field. Patrick Langley for second place, trying to find some grip on that bottom side. He's securely into second. Then it's Dave Anderson for third. Sam Green trying to get up into third place. He's fourth. He's going to get the run on the outside. Room almost runs out for those two. That was close out of turn number 4. They keep it going, though. So Sam Green, we know, is going to be aggressive here with the 44 car, holding back that Kelvin Masur machine, the 43. He wants to get up into the top 3, if not further forward than that. Jeff Figlin, your points leader, now trying to hang on to that points lead. He's into the top 5. Oh, no, he's 6th, actually. And that big contact behind. Kreiser makes contact with, Drapeau. That's the name. That was very exciting there. Unfortunately, Kreiser going to fall back. We'll try and get a replay later if we can. Kevin Hash, though. Big-time lead now as almost a second lead over Patrick Langley. Let's go on board with the 77 car and see what we can see from his point of view. He is certainly falling back a little bit, but he's at least hanging on to second place for now. And while we watch this, pay attention to the top of the screen. You'll see some race info so far. 20 cautions thus far for 99 laps, 5 lead changes. The second half of the race has been a little more exciting as far as the lead changes go. It's been a really good battle for the lead, and Kevin Hash, currently your race leader, doing pretty darn good up there. These guys about a half second off their fastest times of the night. Let's take a look at the weather info here tonight, though. It's a pretty warm race as far as night races here at Bristol go, but it's still pretty darn cool. Keeping the track temps low is going to give these guys more grip than if it was hot. So that's a good move there from well, I guess just from Mother Nature. I'm not sure if this is a moderated league as far as the weather goes or not. Either way, though, Patrick Langley in second, trying to keep in touch with Kevin Hash, but it's going to be tough. Further back, Jeff Figlin now into the top 5. He got by Dave Anderson. He's looking to hang on to his points lead, and so far, doing a great job of it. And that's Sam Green, actually, into the top 3 now. Kelvin Masur looking to upset that dream. Oh, here comes the 43. Masur going to go for third. Couldn't hang on to it. He's going to lose the spot back by the line. It's going to be Sam Green. Figlin for 5th. And it's Anderson holding off Drapeau. Drapeau gets loose. He loses a couple of spots. Here comes Sawyer Ott. He's battling with Majeski. And here comes Ryan Daniels. Ryan Daniels back into the picture. Just over 10 laps to go, and he's back into the top 10 despite getting wrecked a little while ago. He wants 8th place from Sawyer Ott. Let's go on board with him. You can see Ryan's destroyed front end going to the outside of Sawyer. Couldn't hang on. He gets into the wall, actually, and Ryan goes around. The curse continues. There's the caution. Terribly unfortunate for Ryan Daniels. Terribly, terribly unfortunate. He was trying to get by Sawyer Ott, got tight, got into the fence, and fell back. Again, very unfortunate for the driver, hailing from Massachusetts. I'm trying to remember the town name, and I can't for the life of me. Normally, I can name it off the top of my head easily, but either way, hailing from Massachusetts, very unfortunate to see him get in that. Loses all kinds of positions. I think he just lost 8 spots in that one incident. Goes back to 15th after starting 3rd in this race. His future in this event looking pretty meek, but we'll see what he can do with it. So Kevin Hash, still your leader, has done a great job these last few laps. He's now led 50 solid laps in that 03, and he just had a bit of a long green run there. At least one of the longer ones we've had thus far tonight. And that 03 was looking good the entire way through. I'm not sure he can be touched at this point, just based on the fact that he has a clean car. He's done the best job, I think, of anyone in this second half of this race, keeping that car clean, so a nod to him. Do quickly want to take some more time to thank the partners of this race, of course, the race league itself, Iron Thunder Racing League, for contacting us, getting this set up, getting me here, and making it happen. Gotta thank them. Also have to thank, it's going to be Old School's Old School's Graphics and Design. Sorry, I had that nailed down in the first part of the race. Lately, I'm messing it up. But either way, Old School's Graphics and Designs for sponsoring this event, making it the ITRL Old School's night race at Bristol. It's been a fun one, albeit caution-laden. It's been a lot of fun to watch, some good battles up in the front, and it's looking like a very exciting driver could come home with this win. No matter who wins it, I think it's going to be a great finish. Again, that's Old School's graphics and designs. And if you want to get your name on these broadcasts, if you're a budding company, a small-town business, an internet startup, whatever, go ahead and contact Pitstop TV at facebook.com/pitstoptv/ and talk to us today about getting your company's logos, name, everything else, even a commercial on our broadcasts. We'll certainly make it happen for you. We want to help out Small Business USA. As we get ready to go back restarted, we're only going to have about 5 laps to go. This will be an exciting one. I can't stress how important this single restart is going to be. Oh man, this will be a fun one to watch. Kevin Hash going to restart on the top side, like he has for quite a while. It's going to be Patrick Langley again on the bottom side. He's had a pretty fast car on these restarts, but then it falls off. Can Sam Green get up there and take second place away, or will it be Kelvin Masur from fourth? Almost contact under yellow, actually, as Patrick Langley trying to warm up tires got very mighty close to that 43 car. The bottom lane hanging back just a little bit. It's going to hurt Sam Green, but could possibly help the 77. Getting ready to restart here. Kevin Hash with the restart, and he gets off and away very easily. So the battle then for second place. Patrick Langley gets the spot for now, but here comes Kelvin Masur. He wants that position. He can't get it just yet. He falls in line now to the bottom, almost makes contact with the 77, falls back in line. Behind him, it's Dave Anderson and Jeff Figlin. Here comes Figlin. He wants into the top 4. Caution is out, and I think that's going to end our race, ladies and gentlemen. Let's quickly view where that was. No, it was Drapeau that time, I believe. No, actually, it might have been Jonathan Grissup. It was ahead of Grissup. I believe it was the 24, actually. David Jedlicka. He was in a gaggle of cars. See what happens to him. Watch that 24 car. Center of your screen. Gets loose into 1. Or 3, actually. Got on the brakes. Oh, he kills Zachary Kreiser. Goes for a spin. Gets hit somewhere. That's where Grissup goes around. Oh, no, he didn't get hit. The 24 just got loose, getting back up to speed. But ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, that should be the end of the race. That should end this one. Fortunately, though, for Kevin Hash, he was still in the lead. So a great job by him to lead that whole back quarter of the race, over 50 laps, almost 60 laps when it's all said and done, for that 03 car to come home in first place. And what a show it's been. Ladies and gentlemen, again, got to thank you for tuning in tonight. My voice, got a little sketchy right there, but got to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, spending your time here at Pitstop TV. Really appreciate it. And again, you can advertise with Pitstop TV if you just contact us at facebook.com/pitstoptv/. And again, got to thank the big guys behind it all over at the Iron Thunder Racing League. Getting this set up tonight. It's been a lot of fun getting back at it at a big event again. As well as Old School's graphics and designs for supporting this league, sponsoring this race, which is going to be won by none other than Kevin Hash. We talked to him just a little while ago. He's going to hang on to it. Kevin Hash coming home with the race win. It's official. He's your winner from Bristol Motor Speedway. A big win for the driver who started 8th tonight. And you know what? Let's go ahead and look at, as everybody gives him his congratulation bumps, he's going to do a burnout here in a moment. But let's go ahead and look at the point standings coming into tonight's event. And you'll notice I don't even see him on this list of the top 20 drivers. So this is going to be big for that driver in the number 03. A big jump start to his season, I'm sure. And now he's going to go ahead and line him up, do a burnout here at Bristol. Very deserving of it. Throws in reverse. We'll see what he does here. Again, congratulations to Kevin Hash. Congratulations to the whole top 3. And we're going to take one more commercial break. Get ready for interviews here tonight. And Kevin Hash, again, your winner. We will be right back.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to Bristol Motor Speedway. Getting ready to talk to our third place driver tonight. It's going to be Kelvin Masur, and a great run it was for him in the 43 car. Kelvin, do you have a copy?
Yeah, I'm here. I got a strong copy.
Well, man, it was a great race watching all y'all actually in the top three go from the front to the back to the front to the back, and the back up to the front. You ended up getting third place, just scratching it out in that bit of a scrap there at the end. How was the 43 car tonight?
Oh, man, the 43 car was superb. We didn't get a lot of time to put into the car before this week, but I think it was all about keeping the car clean. If you keep the car clean and keep the fenders on it, I think you'd have a pretty good turnout, which we did. The number 43 Captain Morgan car did well for me tonight.
It definitely looked like it came alive there towards the end, and you were able, again, to get that third place finish. That's why we're talking to you now. As far as points go, we'll bring those up actually on the screen for a moment. You come in the 16th position, got a good chance to make up a lot of points over guys like Matt Sherry, David Matson, Zach Kreiser, and more ahead of you who had bad nights, but also Garrett Langley, who was right ahead of you at the end of the race, was right behind you in points. How do you think it's all going to shake up when it's all said and done after tonight?
You know, we don't really know how it will all shake up. Of course, weeks are to come, but all we can do is just keep putting in some time, and hopefully things will turn out. Yeah, we made up some points, and hopefully we keep going that direction.
For sure, and it's going to be a different story next week at Talladega, both in terms of the race and in terms of the point standings. Regardless of how it works out, what's your, I guess, plan of action going into Talladega being the wild card that it is?
Partnering up with some of my teammates, make sure we have a nice group to run in the draft, keep up front so you don't fall too far back, and of course see if we can't come home with another top 5.
Well, hopefully we're able to cover that next week, and hopefully we get to see you do that, man. It was fun talking to you. You're one of the other fun guys to talk to you, so hopefully we're back here next week. Hopefully we get to talk to you more.
All right, Tim, I got to give a shout-out to the missus back home. I'll be home soon.
All right, sounds good. And actually, real quick before I let you go, who else do you have to shout out to, help you out with that 43 car?
Just the team back home putting together these great pieces to run week after week. Without them, I couldn't get it done.
Sounds good, man. It was good talking to you. Hopefully we're talking to you next week at Dega.
Take care.
And that was Kelvin Masur, and we're going to go ahead and contact our second place driver now, Mudflap Langley, as he's known in the Discord. It's Garrett Langley. Garrett, do you have a copy? Sorry, Patrick. Wow. Sorry, Patrick Langley, do you have a copy?
Yeah, 10-400. I got you, bud.
So I guess your iRacing name and the name and the points must be a little bit different, but either way, it was a great run for your number 77 tonight. You were up in the front most of the evening. You fell back for a little while, and now you're back into the top 3. How did you get back into second place?
Well, it was an interesting night to say the least. To be honest with you, got to thank my crew chief, my brother G Lang, made the good call to come in and get fixed up to try to fight my way back up through there. And then somewhere, I think late in the second stage, me and Hash got into a little racing incident, which put us to the back. But again, we were able to drive our way through there. We had a very fast Mobil 1 GameStop Nerf Toyota Camry today. I know the guys at New Gen Racing will be happy with this P2 finish for the team. Hate that last restart was a little laid back there. I'm happy with the P2. I just wish we would have gave the fans a little bit more of a show there at the end.
Well, it was still exciting no matter how it worked out there at the end. And anyways, you come home P2, so you can't be too upset about that. It was a great run for that number 77. You did have a couple of events there, I guess. What was the big one that stands out to you? There was a lot of cautions. We'll actually pull up the race info. There were 22 to speak of, but there's one that sticks out in my mind, I guess, and I'll just go ahead and bring it up. I'm not sure what seat you had when the leader got taken out there. It was Zachary Kreiser, but it really shook everything up. Was that your big break? Do you recall?
I actually didn't find out that the leader got taken out until a little bit later beyond that point. But yeah, that definitely shook things up. 39 had a very fast car. He was real fast firing off on restarts, especially on that high line. But yeah, once he got out of the race, it seemed like, things seemed to tighten up a little bit from first through fifth. I'm not quite sure what it was looking like back there behind me, but yeah, once he got taken out, things started heating up, and then Hash had a real fast car, and that last restart, he just fired off pretty well.
Now, do you think if you had one more shot at that restart, or maybe just had foresight, you could have maybe been able to beat Hash back to the line?
Let's just say I probably would have sit it in there. That's all I know.
All right. Well, it was good talking to you here. Real quick before we let you go, who helps you make it happen there in that 77 car?
Yeah, for sure. New Gen Racing, Jonathan Gris here, and he gave me running with their team. They're a great group of guys with Dylan Hill, David Jedlicka, my crew chief, my brother G Lang, just a couple buddies watching, Nick Williams, Pat McShay, Meek Mills, Miller Lewis. Shout out to you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and just looking forward to next week. And once again, Andrew, thank you for what you guys do over at Pit Stop TV.
Well, thank you, man. It was great talking to you here. Congrats on the second place. Hopefully we're talking to you next week at Dago.
10-4. Yeah, these P2s are getting kind of old.
And that was Patrick Langley. I'm not sure what the situation is there with the Garrett Langley, Patrick Langley. Either way, we'll push that aside for now as we get ready to talk to our race winner once more.
Well,
Kevin Hash, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Kevin, we talked to you just a little while before the end of the race. You come home P1. How does it feel?
It feels pretty good. I was really, when we got that long green flag run, I figured with Langley being as good as he was out there where he'd ran me down earlier, I thought for sure I'd be in a little bit of trouble. But I think I just had a little bit less of a damaged car, a little bit better tires, and I was able to hang on. He definitely was worrying me there toward the end. I really had to watch, make sure. But, he raced me clean. We had a blast. I hated there was as many cautions as there was, but it worked out. I just planned around the strategy for the cautions, and luckily it paid out.
You did a great job of hanging on. You led 59 laps when it was all said and done. After starting 8th, how big of a relief is this? You're not even in the top 20 in standings. Are you one of the part-time drivers, and just how big of a relief is this?
I'm one of the full-time drivers, but between issue with the quick fixes not working at Daytona and last week, I didn't really get good grid position. So really 2 weeks in a row, just kind of stuff outside of my realm affected me. Texas was on me. I didn't qualify well, so that was 100% on me. But it's a lot of things goes to Pondo Co. He's always there motivating you, making sure you're getting better. He's really great team leader. I'm glad to have been teamed up with him as long as I have, known him for as long as I have. Great friends off the track. He's a great guy. Really, he deserves a big thanks for this, because I really wasn't expecting much tonight. I hadn't practiced a lap for this until about 30 minutes prior to the race once I got home from work, and just ended up catching the luck and missed a lot of big ones. I very easily could have gotten the wreck that took Zach Kreiser out in the 39. I hated that for him. He was pretty fast. I wish I could have raced him for it. But, it took a lot of luck tonight, too. It wasn't all just fast car. You could have a fast car, but you had to find a way to get it to the front.
And speaking of that big wreck that took out Zach Kreiser, I asked Patrick a little bit about it. What was your view for that big incident? What do you think happened?
I just don't. I think he was watching more in front of him, just kind of watching the relatives, seeing where the leaders was, and he didn't. I don't think he looked up as much and realized that we was running the high line as much. I think if this was a traditional Bristol, what he done was probably right, because about that time would be when the 39 would go to enter turn 3. I just think he mistimed the run Zach and we had, and it happens. Nobody's perfect out here. Accidents like that can happen every time. It's kind of luck. You got when you're damaged like that, you really, really got to watch that mirror for the leaders, especially at a track like this with multiple lanes, to see where the leaders want to go. But he didn't do it again. I was a little worried, and I seen him on the relative. But I knew he's a good guy. I knew he wasn't gonna botch it again. So luckily made it around him. Everybody else lap car wise done great. It's one of those things. it's the problem with being on the sim as compared to in real life when you could have a real spotter, or even if he could have had a spotter in here tonight, could have told him, hey, leader's running high, you need to stay low. No, it's just that one little issue.
Well, 10-4 on that, man. It was a lot of fun watching you out there come home with the win in the 03 car. Once again, who do you have to thank for helping out?
I got to thank Co, run the team. Also got to give a big shout out to Motor City Graphics, Jeff Figlin. He painted this car up for me. I gave him just a rough estimate of what I wanted, and he blew this paint scheme out of the park. I love driving it. I even have it as background on my computer. I love looking at it. I got to thank Iceland's Collision and Custom Paint, Boss Dennis. I'm sure he'll get to watch this tomorrow. He'll probably have a kick out of watching it, seeing it up front as long as it was. Also got to give a shout out to all the teammates and Ponderosa Outlaws, Dave Matson, Co, Ryan Daniels. They all got caught up in a little bit of stuff outside the realm. I mean, it's one of those things. It sucks, but sometimes it's just not your day. And also got to give a shout out to my brother. He just got on the sim. He's doing really good tonight. I think he got caught up in some stuff outside of his realm as well. But hopefully before too long, we can see the two Hash brothers on top out here.
10-4 on that, trying to get a decent look at that paint scheme of yours, and I think that's going to work right there. It was a lot of fun talking to you, man. You're a fun guy to talk to, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week at Talladega.
Thanks, sir. And also, thank you for the broadcast. Can't wait to watch it.
No problem, man. And it was a lot of fun covering this race here tonight. Again, congratulations to Kevin Hash. And real quick, to revisit that incident with Zachary Kreiser and Dylan, I believe it was Hale. I don't mean anything bad by what I said earlier. What I was saying was it just looked bizarre to me. And I think that clarification there from Kevin was pretty good. So if it did come off as a little too, I guess, what's the word? I guess, I can't even think of the word, but if it came off a little too harsh, I do apologize. Definitely was not intended that way. Hopefully, though, we're back here next week at Talladega. It's a possibility. Don't want to say too much just yet, but hopefully it works out. It was a lot of fun covering this race tonight. Let's quickly go over a couple of things. First off, race info, 22 cautions for 108 laps, 5 lead changes. It was a lot of fun there at the end, watching those guys try to defend their lead, and in the case of Kevin Hash, making it work. As far as the weather tonight, it was 75 degrees outside, and it stayed right at 75.002 degrees Fahrenheit. Zero wind pretty much out here, just 1 mile an hour of wind. It was very, very calm in Bristol, Tennessee. As far as the points coming in, you can see that on the left side of your screen now. And while those are up, we'll take a look at the results. Kevin Hash comes home first, then Patrick Langley and Kelvin Masur. In fourth, it's going to be Dave Anderson, then Jeff Figlin. He comes home fifth, should hang on to his points lead. A great recovery there. A great job by that 98 car. Sam Green comes home sixth. Then it's Sawyer Ott trying to solidify his place at the top of the standings. Dustin Majeski as well, doing a pretty good job, coming home eighth, coming into this race in the third position in the point standings, hanging on to a pretty good spot there. Then it's Ray Rittenauer Jr., I do believe, in the ninth position, followed by Chris Gale, Ryan Daniels, and Zach Kreiser. In 13th, it's Matt Cherry, then David Jedlicka. In 14th, Jonathan Grissop, 15th. Then it's Paul Smith, Eric Drapeau, Aaron Carpentary, Aiden Young, and Chad Keene, to round out your top 20. Next page, it's Dylan Hale. We talked about him just a moment ago. Then it's John Mustaine Jr., Donald Sadusky, and Dave Matson to round out the top 24. After that, it's going to be Sean Dower in the 25th position, Pondo Co. in 26th. Then it's BJ Hash, Matthew Welzenbach, Thunderdome, I forget exactly who that is. Then it's Thomas Cristiano and Artie Peterson Jr. rounding out your entire field here tonight. Again, got to thank the sponsors. It's going to be the Iron Thunder Racing League getting us set up here tonight to cover this race, as well as Old Schools Graphics and Design sponsoring this Old Schools night race at Bristol. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for tuning in here tonight at Pit Stop TV. Thank you once again to the ITRL for having me. It's been a lot of fun. Hopefully you tune in next time.